Hello YouTube. So I just had an exchange with someone that I met on the internet. And I'm not trying to smear this person or what have you. I don't really want to make it about the person, but rather about the greater meaning behind the exchange and why it bothered me. You know, on my Facebook, I have different lists of I have my friends, in different lists. Some, have to do with sex workers' rights and that politics, sex positive feminism, and I have one that I don't censor my views on religion at all. So that's really just for the trusted inner circle. And there's a good reason for that. I have a lot of family in my Facebook. And my family knows that I'm an atheist. And there was the initial discomfort about it. There was some adjustment. But for the most part, my family leaves me alone about it. They don't shove their views in my face. They don't openly condemn me. They don't tell me I'm going to hell. I know a lot of you have had that. I haven't had that. Not really. And because they show me that respect, because I know they don't agree with me, but they let it go, I treat them the same way. I give them the same respect. Because, your views are your views. And my views, personally, are subject to change based on whatever evidence, new creditable evidence I may be introduced to. And they have. I was born and raised Catholic. And that was the only time I wasn't really strong in my belief. That's just what I was born and raised. I didn't feel any great attachment to it. And then I became Wiccan, and then years later I became Buddhist, and then I was sort of an agnostic theist, and that's when I first came to YouTube, and now I'm an atheist. And so I know my views have changed. And part of me would like to say that I'm going to be an atheist forever, but that wouldn't be, well, let's just put it this way. Should new evidence be introduced, my views might change. But what has always been consistent in my life is my family. Views change, come and go, new evidence is introduced, but my family has always been there. And even though, as some of you who have been subscribed to me for a few years, even though I've had my ups and downs with my family, we always end up reconciling. And I feel a really strong reconciliation with my family right now, especially concerning certain things that I've been through in the past couple of years. Things that have really shown me how much they're really there for me. The past 2 years, I'm pretty open, and that's not anything I care to share. It's been so stressful and such a make or break time for me. And so when I let this person know that I was letting them into this trusted inner circle of people that I freely express myself to, and the response I got was, I don't censor my views to comfort the ignorance of people or whatever. I was greatly offended by that. For 2 reasons. One, you know, when I let somebody know that I'm letting them in, I don't want some pompous, judgy, well, I let everybody in. I'm not scared of letting anyone know my views. Well, fuck you, asshole. It's, the way I see it, coming out atheist is almost the same as coming out gay. I come out to who I come out to when I choose to come out to. And it's nobody's goddamn business. I sure would choose. Period. And so when I show that I'm giving a little bit of trust and making myself a little vulnerable to someone, to let them see a little more of me, and that's the response I get, rather than a thank you for expressing that trust in me. I appreciate that. You're letting me in. It kind of makes me want to say, well, fuck you very much. Forget it then. But two, that's my fucking family he's talking about. There's a local atheist group that I got very casually acquainted with. I haven't had a lot of time, but I made, one or two good acquaintances. I made, 2 or 3 good acquaintances there. And I kind of had a small bout of depression a little while back. And wanting that, I hate to use the word, but fellowship, I reached out to them because I wanted help or comfort from that kind of person. And the 2 that I met, I don't know the whole group. Maybe I chose the wrong people, but the 2 that I did reach out to, they weren't there for me. It was my mother, the Catholic, who sat there, because I wrestle with a little bit of depression. I don't have it real bad. But it was my mother, the Catholic, who sat there and listened to me, go on about the things bothering me. And she would sit there patiently, getting exhausted with watching the emotional roller coaster I was on at the time, and comfort me. And she was there for as long as I needed her. And not once did she say, well, if only you would pray, or maybe you're feeling this way because you don't have God in your life. She never did any of that fucking bullshit. And now I think back to when I first left Catholicism. Through the time I was a Wiccan, through the time I was a Buddhist, to the time I was sort of playing with deism, to now. She has never thrown that shit in my face. And now that I think about it, I've never heard her throw that shit in anybody's face. My mom is a Catholic. She says she was born a Catholic, and she will die a Catholic. And you know what? I don't care. And to label and dismiss her as ignorant people based on knowing one little fact about her, in my opinion, that's bigoted. Because you call someone ignorant people, that's very dismissive. It's very slap a label on someone and file them away and dismiss them. When you call someone an ignorant person, you're associating their whole person with that ignorance. They're not ignorant about one thing. They are an ignorant person. How fucking dare this person who doesn't know me, who's never met me in person, and who's never met my mother, and if he gave her half a fucking chance, he'd probably love her, label and dismiss her as ignorant people to my face, as if my people don't matter to me. I'm an atheist. But first and foremost, before that, I am my mother's daughter. I am my father's daughter. I am my brother's sister. I am my grandmother's granddaughter. There are so many things I am before I am an atheist. And that needs to be respected. And I don't care who you are. I don't care what you believe. If you treat me and my views with respect, you're okay by me. Period. And I don't care if you're a believer or a non-believer. You can meet me, we can be cool, whatever. But don't you talk shit about my mama. Because that woman has been there long before you. And I guarantee that ignorant woman will be there long after you. These are my people you're talking about. And I think that's all I have to say about it. Good night.